Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, welcome to the panel session on the topic IT sector and artificial intelligence empowering youth to support innovation and develop world-class solutions. It is true honor to open this important discussion. We are living in an area where technology is transforming our life, our work, and the growth of our economies. Uzbekistan, where 6% annual growth of economy, 100% literacy, and more than half of population in the age of 30, the potential for digital innovation is truly tremendous. The creativity, energy, and drive of our young people are the greatest assets. This panel is not just about conversation of AI or IT. It is a platform to explore how we can empower our young people to become creators, not just consumers of tomorrow's technology. Yesterday, many participants of this panel session participated in open ceremony of Tashkent International Investment Forum, and our president, in opening his speech, specially outlined the fourth direction of development of Uzbekistan next decades, and digital economy, AI, became the main point. And as he mentioned, this year our export of IT sector will be perhaps 1 billion, but 2018 it was perhaps 50 million, and after 5 years, in 2030, it will be $5 billion. But at the same time, we have some challenges, for example, regional digital divides, skill gaps, and limited access to global innovation ecosystem. This session is about confronting these barriers by bringing together perspectives from government, global tech companies, financial services, and infrastructure leaders. Now it is more important here. Welcome distinguished speakers. I would like shortly introduce them. First of all, Simon Milner, Vice President Public Policy at Meta, and next to him, Mr. Oleg Pekas, First Deputy Minister of Digital Technologies of Uzbekistan. After him, here is we see Sergey Chekalkin, Head of Customer Experience at TBC Uzbekistan, and Abbas Parayavi, Senior Digital Infrastructure Expert, International Data Center Authority. And after him, we here see the Anil Vijayachandran, Deputy Chief Development Officer at Data World. And Kevin Kandat, he is Chief Technical Officer at Uzum, well known in our country, this company as the first Uzbek unicorn. So now we will come to the main point of our panel discussion, to the question and answers. We have only now 50 minutes left, and each speaker 5 minutes. I think it will be enough, but nevertheless, we'll be glad to hear in for short time, but many interesting from your side. The first, Mrs. Simon Milner, to you questions. How is Meta navigating ethical and regulatory challenges tied to AI personalization, especially in balancing innovation with the user safety? Today, the ethics of AI become top discussion issues over the world in all levels, in the United Nations and between the disputes of big powers. In fast-growing regions like Asia-Pacific, how are public-private dialogues shaping responsible AI development? What tools or initiatives has Meta introduced to ensure fairness and transparency while supporting global platform integrity? Please, Mr. Simon.
Thank you very much, and hello everybody. It's wonderful to be here in Tashkent at this International Investment Forum. I'm Simon Milner, as has been explained. I lead our public policy efforts across the Asia-Pacific region, and this issue of AI has undoubtedly become the #1 topic that governments are interested in talking with me and my team about. It's a real pleasure to be talking about this here in Central Asia and specifically in Uzbekistan. Since I've learnt in my short time here, the last couple of days, and in particular in my meetings with the Deputy Minister, just how forward-thinking Uzbekistan's government is, and I've also now seen there are many great companies doing really good work here. So it's a pleasure to be here and to be able to answer this question. So I hope everyone realizes there are two different kinds of investments that Meta is making in AI. One is our very large open source foundation models, which are all called Llama, LLAMA, and they are open source and can be used by anyone around the world to build their own AI products. And then we also have our consumer-facing AI products, which are collectively known as Meta AI, and I can talk a bit more about them later. But to your specific question around these ethical issues in terms of the training of data, the way in which people might understand AI, let me turn to, I just mentioned 4 different ways in which Meta is leaning into these issues. First of all, we have several transparency measures when it comes to our AI products, and we really try and prioritize transparency to explain how our AI products work and to enable users to understand when they're engaging with AI-generated content. We think this is really essential for building trust and ensuring the widespread uptake of AI technologies. The second area is being open sourced. We've now released over 1,000 open source AI products, including through our FAIR project and also through our Llama models. Now, our Llama models have now been downloaded more than 1 billion times. So that means other people, developers, governments, others are using those models to develop their own AI products. And we believe that open source, the open source approach enhances accountability, improves model performance, and fosters innovation. The third area around fairness in AI. We have invested in programs like FACET, which stands for Fairness in Computer Vision Evaluation, to create benchmarks for computer vision models, addressing performance disparities across attributes like gender and race and skin tone. This initiative contributes to fairer and more robust AI models. And then the fourth area I'll mention, and I could mention more, is our AI-powered tools for social good. So we have AI-powered population density maps and a relative wealth index, which have supported global projects such as vaccination campaigns, including in countries close to here, and water sanitation plans. So again, we want to empower the use of AI for social good in order to ensure it has a positive impact on society. And those are just some of the examples of the approach that Meta is taking. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Simon, for your such information. It is very important today. We are witnessing as the big companies began to obtain more state sovereignty, and that's why issues of ethics and transparency became very important now. And the next speaker, Alek Pekos, First Deputy Minister of Digital Technology. Now is more talking about development AI in Uzbekistan. What are the core pillars of Uzbekistan national AI and digital transformation strategy? How is the ministry tackling barriers like data availability, infrastructure, and talent development, while drawing from past reforms to create a roadmap for scalable AI adoption and global integration? Thank you. Please.
Thank you so much for the questions. Thank you, Simon, for the wonderful speech. My English is not brilliant yet. That's why I will speak Russian. Please use your translators.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to introduce the four main directions of the development of artificial intelligence and digital technologies in the Republic of Uzbekistan. The dear President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, thanks to him, we are paying much more attention to digital technology, and we understand that Uzbekistan doesn't always have the enough amount of information to have the rapid boost that it needs. And if we take into consideration that we have the majority of our population are young people, the IT sector has a large potential that we need to be developed, which is happening since 2017 very actively. We have been provided unprecedented tax opportunities. As you can see on the slides, we have no social tax and only a small dividends, which are personal for personas. We are always developing such spheres to provide residencies and developing and researching international languages and IT sectors. Right now, more than 400 and 600 residents are working on these directions, which provides us with a boost of attracting IT specialists into this sector. And everybody knows that, everybody has seen those educational centers that have a lot of young people who are learning IT, the IT lessons or learning new language thanks to the politics or the policies of the president. Right now we had growth from to 2030. Now we have expanded it to up to 2040. You can see that in the slide that we have more directions. We have PPO education, royalty taxes that expanded as well. We expanded it to 3 years for all specialists, including PhD and other scientific degrees for everybody who have to be in the structure as well for the successful development. One of the most impactful is the portal of our governmental services, which is we have to provide comfortable governmental services. Everybody has to have it in their pocket. You can see it on the screen that not very hard. We provide all the services in a very comfortable. We have it through apps, we have it through banks and everything else. That is why you can see the gender statistics that 53% of the portal are males and 47 are females. And with that, we see that it is being fulfilled very well, and more than 5 million services have been provided through the single window portal. And another thing that I want to show to all the components of the rating is our global goal to 2030 is to become one of the top 30 countries through electronic governance, e-governance. And in the past 4 years we have grown a couple of positions, and you can see that we are trying to pay more attention to the human capital and communicative resources and other etc. I would also like to pay more attention to the startups. If we look at the opinion of KPMG for $150 million for the volume of the trade volume that we have right now. Right now we have 10 venture funds and a lot of startups that are being developed very actively. Here on the slides you can see specific numbers in each direction. Right now we have 400 startups, and they are growing more and more because we have a lot of talented young generations that are being supported by every single initiative on every single step. I would also like to separately tell you about the human-centric model of the AI. AI has to bring benefits to our citizens. That is our strategy, that is our priority, because AI is being developed in different developed countries. In the commercialized sector it's being developed simultaneously, but however in the social it's being developed differently because we don't always have enough investments. But here the government is taking the responsibility in providing the necessary GPU infrastructure for social projects, where the government, both in the government and the private sectors, where some of them are free for startups and for program for program issues if it's necessary. Other than that, I would also like to thank the Meta for promoting this project. Thank you very much. We are very grateful for that. And in order to create any model, of course, we spend a lot of resources. It is energy, it is water for cooling, it is the resources, human resource. And the most right thing to do is that we are creating everybody, that we're expanding it and making it free for everybody and commercializing it in the directions that are already existing and are enough. But for social spheres, for example, those are disease and diagnostics, those have to be free, those have to stay free, and we have to maximize this potential through filling it up with different data, because data is very difficult. Everybody who's here, everybody knows that that data is necessary for the development of AI, and we are for sharing and being transparent and sharing data in the social sphere across every single country in the world and provide it absolutely free. Here we showed the 5 directions that are being developed in healthcare, it is agriculture, it is transport sector, it is electronic governance and education. And yesterday, Mr. President has launched a large project, and I invite all of our partners to join us, both Uzum and TBC and every other country and other company. Yesterday we discussed where we opened a portal, AI Study Use, where there is an available 1 million Uzbek prompters course. It's an instrument that is to use generative models, LLM models, so people can understand to give applications properly, and this is going to be more effective. This platform on one study, we have a lot of different spheres for education, and with Meta we have discussed about our usage of this LLM model for the fine-tuning of the llama, and of course our colleagues provided us with aid for that, and we will upload this for free for everybody who is willing. And on my last slide, I would like to show you that we have a clear understanding of our goals. Here you can see we grow for 18 for AI Government Readiness Index that is conducted every single year, conducted annually. And by 2030, ours is 50 positions. You can see the potential of AI and that we have to create 100,000 more working places. Everybody thinks that AI is going to be reducing workplaces, but our goal is to make more workplaces through AI by developing the model of the development of AI. All of you, I would like to invite everybody to cooperate with me. Thank you for coming, and thank you for being with us here. Thank you very much.
Oleg Andreevich,
Thank you, Mr. Oleg.
Informative and useful information we received today, and I would like to use this opportunity to thank Mr. Pekas for his comprehensive support to our Association of Central Asia for AI. And next speaker, Sergei Chikalkin, Head of Client Service of TBC Uzbekistan. And yesterday on his statement, President of Uzbekistan specially outlined the TBC, one of the companies here, which is now more than $1 billion. That's why to use several questions. First of all, TBC Uzbekistan is the biggest digital banking ecosystem in the country and in the regions at the same time. And TBC invests significant resources into proprietary AI. What is the strategy behind building the AI bank of the future? And how does that differentiate TBC from traditional digital banking model? And at the same time, classical question, which Mr. Pekas said, that worries everyone. Do you see AI replacing people in their job in your company? Thank you.
Yes. Hello, everyone. And it's a real honor to be here today representing TBC and sharing our experience of how AI is already changing our business and the way we interact with our customers. But before I go into TBC strategy of AI Bank of the Future, I would like to step back and share a couple of words about the environment that enables breakthroughs. Uzbekistan is already doing more than expected when it comes to data and technology. At TBC and across the industry, we benefit from the modern open banking system, which is way more advanced than in many developed markets. This is the data-rich environment, and it helps us create innovative, world-class digital products. And it lays a strong foundation for AI-driven technologies. Another Uzbekistan strength is young, talented, and tech-savvy population. And we at TBC are committed to supporting that potential. We invest in our local team and help them grow inside the company. And we're bringing in international experienced tech experts who help us scale faster. We support local tech scene. We create events of community, and we work closely with education system to develop future talent. So our target is the strong pipeline of future tech leaders who will shape the region's digital future. And speaking of Bank of the Future, we're focusing on three main things. Reimagined customer experience, AI-driven decision-making in our most important business processes like product design, customer acquisition, credit decision-making, retention, cross-sell and upsell. And we leveraging AI for our platforms and tech stack. So we're focused on main three things. First is omni-channel seamless customer experience. Second is our operations that work smarter and helps us to grow faster and scale faster. And to support that, we developed our own bilingual proprietary AI models and trained it on proprietary data right here in Uzbekistan with the help of our local team that we've been investing in. And we create our own LLMs and speech tech, which is one of the largest projects in the region to date, because TBC invested more than $10 million in this project. Global tech players often overlook so-called lower resources models, like lower resources languages like Uzbek, because they don't have enough data to train. That's why we decided to build this functionality ourselves here in Uzbekistan. And the important thing that the entire system is hosted on premises on TBC servers. So now we have this bilingual proprietary models that can improve a lot of things that we do. Speaking of AI replacing people, we believe at TBC that AI makes our employees more valued, because AI is taking repetitive, low-value tasks, and it allows our teams to focus on more human-centered, more human-centered and more strategic work. The tasks that require soft skills, empathy, and creativity. And our company is growing so fast, so we hire more and more people. And we already employ more than 3,500 people in the company, and we are continuously growing. So it's not about replacement, it's about additional value for our employees. we already see impact of using AI in our sales and payment reminders. Our Uzbek language model handles more than 50% of payment reminder calls, early stage payment reminder calls, and it improves the efficiency of this process significantly. Also, in sales, we developed AI-powered Telegram bot in Uzbek and Russian. It sells loans, and it showed 30% better conversion rates than other digital channels, significantly reducing customer acquisition costs and improving customer experience. So we can see that AI helps the entire industry grow. And one area I'm especially passionate about is customer experience. And AI helps us move from reactive service to proactive, personalized support. It helps us to understand what customers really mean, not just what they say. We change how our team structure, how our support team is structured. We change how we measure quality and how we close the feedback loop. And this is a shift in mindset from just serving tickets to building relationships. The next thing for us is AI-powered assistants that talk like real people. We believe that this is the new way people interact with their bank. No more clicking through menus, no more waiting on hold, just a natural human-like conversation which can make a transition of the context to a support agent when it's needed. And this human-like interactions taking customer experience to the next level. But AI isn't just transforming customer-facing technologies. It is also making our internal operations smarter. We're working on speech analytics to understand 100% of customers' interactions. We can see the full picture of what's happening, and we can react in real time. For example, if our agent may have made a mistake, or we don't have a certain scenario in our knowledge base, we can fix it in real time and improve experience immediately. And the other thing that we are working on is proprietary AI copilot for our support agents. It can summarize interaction with the assistant. It will provide context for an agent to fully understand what the customer issue was. And also, it can suggest relevant knowledge base article, or it can improve chat response, either grammatically or in terms of tone of voice. So, yeah,
thank you.
Thank
you, Sergey. Very important.
I just wanted to say that we already see that AI transformation is happening here in Uzbekistan, and we're just proud to be a part of it.
Thank you. TBC, they're doing big jobs as a locomotive developing fintech in our country.
Thank you.
Your staff, your leadership is very feasible. And as yesterday our president specially mentioned it, constructing 20 data centers with a 500 megawatt with the capacity. And because, as Mr. Pekas said, and you, Sergey, told about that, without that AI will not function. It is important. But where to keep this data? It is needed data centers. So that's why now is a question to Abbas Pariavi, Senior Digital Infrastructure Expert, International Data Center Authority. Question to him, because we data needed, then especially mentioned about developing AI, which will be to Uzbekistan mentally, culture to its at the same time sovereignty, to have sovereignty. How can emerging markets develop secure, energy efficient and sovereign data ecosystem? What is the role of regulation, certification and trusted infrastructure in enabling AI at scale and a hybrid and edge computing world? Thank you.
Well, yes. First of all, thank you for having me. We're supposed to have our chairman and CEO but he was invited to the president's meeting, so I'm filling in instead of him. So regulatory frameworks are key in building sustainable digital economies. The absence of such frameworks create an environment of unpredictability and randomness, which is obviously not good for businesses and investment. Perhaps the best example that I can bring, the best example that exists today in the world is Loudoun County, which is also known as the data center alley of the world. It's the largest data center hub in the entire world. It has gathered billions of dollars of investment. Over 60% of the world's internet flows through Loudoun County and is pushing upwards of 7 gigawatts of power. Now today in 2025, land price for data centers in Loudoun County are going up to $5 million per acre. There's scarcity of land and there's scarcity of power. Plus, there's no tax incentives for building data centers. Yet, there's a queue for enterprises and cloud providers to build their next data center in Loudoun County. Now, the question that we get asked frequently is why? Why, how has once a farmland 20 years ago has transformed into such a global hub for digital infrastructure? And the answer is predictability, right? So often the existence of obsolete regulatory frameworks can be your bottleneck. So one thing we always say is to keep one policy above all policies, and that is to frequently visit all of your policies. That keeps you up to date, fresh, and keeps you innovative. Unfortunately, one key challenge that we're facing is the rapid growth of technology, especially with the emergence of AI. This just creates the need for dynamic and up-to-date regulatory frameworks even more. Therefore, to ensure a trusted and reliable ecosystem, you need reliable yet open-minded and up-to-date regulations. Now, as to a point you alluded to, for sovereign data, another important point is that governments need to define what sort of data has to go across their borders and outside of their borders, and what sort of data needs to reside inside their national borders. That is key. For example, military records, hospital records, or other sensitive information. As a nation, you want to have these within your national borders. You want to have ownership of this data. Whereas if you sign up for Facebook or Instagram or any other social platform, you're becoming a citizen to these global entities. And so preventing that will prevent you from gaining global momentum and attracting foreign investments. This is where IDCA comes in. We help nations balance, find a balance between ensuring sovereignty and securing global opportunities. Now to conclude, as a nation, you must categorize data and classify them based on national priorities, and in doing so, make sure that you remain attractive and open enough to be seen as a potential destination and a global digital hub. Thank you.
Thank you. Very short but very informative. When we studied in school, our teacher said, talent when you shortly can express your ideas. Thank you. And next, our speaker, Anil Vijaya Chandran. He is Deputy Chief Development Officer in Data World. Data World now actively working in Uzbekistan. Yesterday I was in reception, could see how you now engaging. And to use the question, as AI increases demand for performance infrastructure, how is Data World envisioning sustainable AI-ready data centers, especially in Uzbekistan and in the region in the whole? Which technologies, partnerships, and strategies are key to positioning Uzbekistan as a regional digital hub? Thank you.
Thank you.
At the heart of Central Asia, Uzbekistan is rapidly emerging as a strategic hub, driving digital infrastructure, innovation, and regional connectivity. Here, DataVolt is building the region's region's first Tier 3 designed 12 megawatt data center, future ready and built for scale. Inside, advanced infrastructure powers density AI workloads with global connectivity, flexible architecture, and 100% green energy through the region's first green PPA. With world-class operations and the Datavolt Academy, we're training the next generation of digital talent. Datavolt Uzbekistan, powering the digital future of Central Asia.
Thanks. So to your question, this basically gives you context that Datavolt is, putting its money where its mouth is. We are fully committed to Uzbekistan. We are excited about the opportunity here and about the future of the country in terms of, fronting and leading this AI revolution. So to your question, effectively, AI, we see AI as effectively suffusing, everything that we are going to deal with. In terms of the public services for which we interact with the government, as Sergey was explaining, in terms of how we are going to be dealing with the banking sector, in terms of how we are going to deal with the telecom companies, etc. It's going to, be at the core of everything. And all of that is going to sit on top of underlying compute infra. And that compute infra needs to be powered by a lot of energy, cheap green energy. It's going to be powered by low latency, very high quality, very high speed communications, connectivity. It has got to be abundantly available. So, and that's where we come in. We want to ensure that we are, and we want to ensure that Uzbekistan has that abundant compute that allows us to be in the forefront, allows it to build out that ecosystem of companies that are driven by AI, foreign investment, local startups, etc., that allow it to be on the forefront of all of this. And so then, as I said, right, now how do we ensure that that backend works? How do we ensure that we're able to build out that compute, the data centers that power all of this? The first and the most important thing is energy. And here, the great reforms of the Uzbek government, which has ensured that there's significant investments and rollout of renewable energy capacity the last few years, wind, PV, and even, for example, a pilot project in green hydrogen, etc. Uzbekistan has been in the forefront of the region in implementing these reforms and rolling out a massive rollout of renewable energy, expanding its power capacity. So in the first 12 megawatt data center that we built out, we are very proud that this is the region's first net zero data center. It is the policy framework of the country that has ensured that we are able to have this access to very cheap, very reliable net zero energy, green energy. And we are very excited, and our future investment plans are also backed or linked to this significant expansion of renewable energy capacity. To connectivity. We understand that there are significant investments that are happening in improving terrestrial connectivity to Kazakhstan, to Europe and the rest of the world. And this is going to be a key bottleneck that has to be unlocked over the next few years for us to ensure that, that the true capability of Uzbekistan kind of comes out on this front. And we are very excited in working with the country in ensuring that the policy frameworks and the infrastructure investments happen on this front. And 3 people. Again, one of the most important elements of all of this. And again, we are very excited about the youth, the talent, and the excitement, and the initiative in actually kind of learning and being in the front line on this. And we again we are very excited that we've been able to play a key part on this as well. We have a tie-up with Shireen Energy College, as part of which we have a group of 30 people who are training and coming out to operate our data centers when they become ready over the course of next year. And we have significant plans of expanding this program as well. And we want to ensure that we are on the ground and we are working with the government and our institutions and our young people in ensuring that this talent and this capability comes online. So all of this effectively leads us to believe that this is again an exciting market to be in. And as you can see here, we have a very large investment program that is waiting for rollout. And we are excited to work with the corporates, with the enterprises, with the banks, with the government, the ecosystem here, and making this a reality. So.
Thank you very much. Yes, certainly it is very important when you focus that there should be regional such cooperation in the developing data centers and in some cohesion to each other. Because Central Asia is growing, economy is growing, population is growing. So data will grow, and that's why the exchange of information, the data will be important. But it is important that such competition developing between our countries to be the hub of AI data hub center and so on. It is very positive tendency, and thank you. And now we come to the one of our last speaker, to Mr. Kevin Kanda, CTO of Uzum, Uzbekistan first unicorn, and yesterday President in his statement especially mentioned two our big companies, which is more than 1 billion, Uzum and TBC. My last 3 years of my diplomatic career, I worked in China. It was time of COVID, and I could witness as Alibaba and other companies could very constructively, positively manage all problems which people faced in time of isolation, when this e-commerce played an important role in this. I dreamed. In this time we had nothing. I tried to, in framework of SEO as a Secretary General, to make it possible to develop the same system in our countries. But I'm very glad that Uzum now in Uzbekistan doing good jobs in this way. And that's why I have several questions. How is Uzum integrating AI across e-commerce and fintech to boost efficiency and inclusion? What haven't been the measurable results? How is consumer behavior shaping AI design, particularly in recommendation system and automation tools? And what lesson from Uzum's experience could help inspire broader IT innovation across the region? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for the very large set of questions. But let me first speak about Uzum. So I would like to explain what Uzum is. We are mostly an ecosystem, and we are calling ourselves an e-commerce enabled fintech ecosystem because we are connecting tightly e-commerce and fintech services all together to provide citizens of Uzbekistan with the best-in-class service and cover all of their problems, addresses, or jobs that they should be done within one app. So, and actually we see the result of it. We see the adoption of our service, and also that currently over half of the population of Uzbekistan are our clients. So within 3 years of our existence. And well, the main source of our clients and customers is the word of mouth, which means that our clients are, so they wanted the product similar to what you have already said. So they wanted the product that we have provided, and this made a big change in Uzbekistan market in terms of both e-commerce and fintech. So and we have adopted the e-commerce based strategy since the inception of our business, because we understood that e-commerce will bring us customers that they can be later transitioned into the fintech part. And that's why from the beginning we heavily invested into the best software practices, the high quality analytics and AI. So, but the broader terms AI, with machine learning algorithm, with data science, with data lakes and data collection all over the touch points from customer within our services and platforms. So yeah, basically we heavily invested into this, and the data is the key and the foundation of all the AI services that we are providing now. Recommendation algorithms, client-centric based support, scoring systems, and I think that we have best in, maybe one of the best scoring systems within the country, because we have different type of data sets. Not only transaction data from the banks, but also the e-commerce based data, like the data from the food tech services, which also can tell you different ranges of information about your client. And in the center of our ecosystem is our so-called Uzum ID, the unique and single identifier for all the customers within the whole services of our ecosystem. For example, someone can join our ecosystem with a food tech service, and then he will create his account, which will be accessible by all other services within our ecosystem. And we can use this data, for example, to build better recommendations, to provide customers with just-in-time loans, for example, where they need to pay for the housekeeping services and so on. And also, like, we are heavily investing into educational part, because we understand that as leaders of this market, we need also to expand our expertise in order to grow innovation. Because innovation, it doesn't matter in our company or within the country, it will only be developed when the talent meets required support. And that's actually what we are doing in Uzum. We established our IT academy, and we have more than 900 graduates already for the last 2 years, and the best of them are working with us right now. I think that like most of them work maybe in TBC, maybe in other companies all over the market, but like we are trying our best to bring the also international expertise and share it within the population of Uzbekistan. So we are supporting different IT universities, and I think that we're maybe one of the main supporters of IT events in the country. But like we were not also we were not only about IT. So we do have our Uzum Ustos program, and we help to develop different type of professions and talents to start to help talented people start their careers, for example, in business, in management, in marketing, and so on. And so that's basically what we're doing in terms of education. We also have social programs with the national social security funds and agencies, and we are providing our not only digital infrastructure but also physical infrastructure, for example, to provide the people in all over the country, because we are providing our e-commerce services and logistics all over the country. We have delivery points in more than 400 cities already, and we are helping people with some problems like disabilities and so on to order the rehabilitation equipment within the Uzum market and delivering it for free, like because it's a social mission. So that's also one of the parts that we're doing. In terms of your question about how Uzum is working with the cultural things in Uzbekistan. So first of all, I want to say that in terms of shopping, for example, we need to deeply understand what the customer needs. Because 3 years ago, when we started, there was no e-commerce shopping experience at all, as you mentioned again. And there was a traditional bazaars. The traditional bazaars was the main habit of shopping for the citizens. And we understood that we should be better than bazaars in terms of the pricing policy, in terms of the range of assortment, in terms of the prices, I mean the bargaining, because it's in the culture of the citizens of Uzbekistan to discuss the price and so on. So that's why also we provided the service on our e-commerce platform, which is called the best price guarantee. So we are working with offline and online retailers to understand the prices better than everyone. And we are building this type of service so that it will be more convenient than the bazaars. For example, again, 3 years ago, the people from the regions, there were like going, for example, to Tashkent to buy some goods that were not available in Samarkand or Bukhara or somewhere else where they're living. And we changed that because right now, within one day, you can order everything and deliver, and we will deliver it to you on the next day in our delivery points. So, yes, that's like that's how we are changing the whole infrastructure by applying e-commerce, by applying fintech technology, AI, and so on to support the development of the country. Thank you.
Thank you. We have only 2 minutes. But I am very agree with you in Uzbek Bazaar market. If you're going not begging, seller will not appreciate you. And that's why if audience have some one only questions, we will have time only for one question. Yes? Some have any one questions here? If not, I have one only. To everyone should common for everyone here. As AI reshapes governance, economies, and society, what is the most effective path forward? Should countries prioritize homegrown innovation or adapt global technologies to local contexts?
Perhaps I could go first on this. Thank you very much. I want to make it quick and simple. Be more like Japan and less like Europe if you want to succeed, because Europe wants to regulate comprehensively and now is reconsidering that, whereas Japan has just passed a law which is really leaning into being innovation friendly with some supporting structures around AI. So be more like Japan, less like Europe.
Полностью по этому вопросу согласен здесь.
I fully agree on this question. I have mentioned already that we should be very careful regarding the regulatory.
From our own experience, off-the-shelf solutions don't work in Uzbekistan because there is a set of challenges, including linguistic challenge that I mentioned before. So the best approach is to bring global open source model and tailor it to context, culture, and regulation.
Yes, so what we're seeing in terms of AI currently is just the tip of an iceberg. I remember 2022 when OpenAI first released ChatGPT. It was very new, so a friend of mine, he came to me and said, "Have you heard of ChatGPT?" I said, "No." He said, I said, "What is it?" He said, "You can search and it replies to you." I said, "Okay, what does it do?" He said, "You ask it, what is 2 + 2? And it tells you that it's 4. So that's how basic it was initially. Obviously, it was more advanced than that, but now, in just 3 years' time, it has advanced so much. And this is just generative AI. We're going to be going into agentic AI. And for a country to build its own AI models, it has to be able to maintain and keep up with the new advancements of AI, which is happening so rapidly. So just adopting global innovation is probably the most efficient and innovative way forward.
Yeah, so for me, again, allowing the best of the world to be here. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Allowing the best of the world to be here, but at the same time, ensuring that we have a set of homegrown companies who are adequately supported, enabled through regulation, etc., to be able to compete as well. So that combination, I think, gives you the best outcome of both.
I fully agree with Adil that we should focus on collaboration, but we should not forget about supporting our local talents and local businesses.
Thank you very much. I think everyone who here was satisfied by the answers, by information. Here, all speakers involved in developing Central Asia in the whole. the people who representing companies which accumulated a big experience in developing ecosystem in developing countries too. That's why in the September will be ICT Week, this big exhibition dedicated to IT and AI. And we plan with the support Ministry of Digital Development of Uzbekistan and University of Central Asia, it is close to us, to organize a forum, Central Asian Forum on AI, how we could develop and how we could use in our social economic life and how we can grow our talent. Thank you very much once more to each of you. Thank you. And one photo. One together, one.